Hello and welcome to another game of 8-bit armies. This is a game that was suggested to me by this man up here, Midas, who also known as TigerStyle, also known as many other names, who is playing up here in the light blue as the Guardians. And then down here in the bottom we have JustPlainSavage playing in the green as the Deathsworn. So this game was suggested to me by my boy Midas, and is from JustPlainSavage's stream. If you have watched that, you may have seen this game. And this is actually the map Arabia, which is which is Midas's map that he made, TigerStyle. I've played quite a few games on them before. Hopefully our boy Dissonant will cast a few of those that me and Tiger played, testing this out. But it's a pretty fun map overall. Has this sort of big ledge running along either side, which sets up sort of bases where you could start. You could start in either of these four corners, which has the 5 minerals over here, and then a load of them in the middle. And so far, we're seeing obviously both players moving towards the middle to grab some more resources. JustPlainSavage upgrading his TC. The standard looking play coming out from Midas, getting the tech up. And this is a map where, because of how stretched out your bases are, you essentially base out on this long sideways. You can end up having quite a lot of multi-pronged attacks, quite a lot of harassment, quite a lot of work like this going on. And it can be quite active. So we will see if that gets up in a minute. We've got bits and pieces of Midas scouting here and there across the map. We have the armies just starting to build up. Getting all of the different types of production down here. He's got his spirit hut, he's got the thing that I can never remember the name of, but the thing that makes dragons. And then we got the barracks and the factory thing, which I don't think is called a factory, but that's what it is. Excited to see him make dragons. The new upgraded dragons that were buffed recently are very exciting. I've been playing I haven't played too much 8-bit, but what I've been playing a lot of Deathsworn, and I've been making a lot of dragons. They are lit AF right now. And they give, I'm not sure how comparable, but quite a comparable fight to the heavy drones, I'd assume, as they will have the big AoE both against air and especially against ground. They're pretty cool. And there we go, there's our first green dragon flying about in this original push. Dragon timing push coming out from our boy Savage. He's then going to throw another one of these down for maybe more ogres, and one of these for more dragons. A lot more people, since their build time got reduced, have been making a lot of arbalists, but JustPlainSavage doesn't seem to be too interested in that. He wants to get a few of these ogres out here to crush the infantry starting force of the Guardians. The first of these is up here, and the problem, Deathsworn used to have the very bad problem of having very little anti-air to fight against Guardians, and so dragons gave them, now that they've had their air attack changed and buffed, they gave them that in quite a good amount. They also have the archers and shamans out there, but it will be interesting to see how much trouble they actually have now after patches have been. Spectres, everything here setting up. Scouting dragon, interestingly. I warn you, I will do this when I mean to go up and down, because this middle click works very differently to Dawn of War. I actually much prefer this one. This replay system is probably overall still a lot better than Dawn of War's, although it's early days. Scouting again with the little orc, which makes me think that perhaps the Dragon Scout wasn't entirely on purpose. Another scout with a little skeleton archer over this side. Going to see pretty much everything. See that Tiger is going heavily for those spectres, assuming that he believes that the Deathsworn air anti-air is now strong enough to hold on. Pushing up the front, interestingly, is JustPlainSavage with his buildings. Going to even start mining from the lakes over here. Very little action in this game so far, however. Few too many miners over here. By the looks of some of these miners and what I've seen him play and this very AFK army here, I am thinking that while Midas wanted to be in a slightly defensive position as he builds up his late game army, JustPlainSavage might not have his Death Swarm play absolutely down, not be quite sure when he is more powerful. Either that, or with the lower amount of high level games that have been going on recently, perhaps both players feel like they will win the late game and therefore are both trying to wait up. So these dragons coming in first, not the greatest idea because they're going to get hit a lot by this the snipers and the other anti-air that's down here. But if they can get some good fire breath on these units, that's going to be really helpful. But they are going down very fast. Didn't get any real good dragon breaths off here. The ogres are trying to get in there to do some smashing and some crushing, but that's not going well either. They are getting some damage to the buildings with the archers and the shamans, but just with some good micro here, some good movement from Midas, there is going to be very little crushes going off, and now this force can be pushed back from JustPlainSavage. Very small army now. The catapults are out. The balloons are an interesting choice. A reaction, no doubt, to the fact that there have been multiple extra factories put down here. But a lot more factories from JustPlainSavage's side means we're going to be seeing a lot of balloons running around, along with a lot of catapults for the ground army. And this brave little soul here is going to get a very good scout. These are, on this map, incredibly well used scouting positions. So it looks like he's going to give up on this harassment slightly now that he has been caught. Just rolling these about. You need to always have this in mind when you're playing here. You might even want to go and clear this out every now and again to make sure that your enemy doesn't get that extra vision. So an attack comes down here from Midas now. A little poke. He doesn't want to get too bogged down in this fight probably, because the catapults, unless you know that you can push through them, they are very annoying with their big slow that you get from the tar that they spit out. But only one dragon and one balloon. It's also not incredibly scary. Just back and forth, pushing in, not letting the catapults get any good hits. Just picking some troops off with this much smaller army, because there is also a big army in the side which is going out for a sort of counterattack, although not on move command. Good job that they will hit in on these balloons. So there's going to be some multi-pronged gameplay going on here. That would be very interesting to see. This army coming down here is now known to JustPlainSavage, and it looks like he is moving up for perhaps his own attack, perhaps his own fight. So Midas is going to have to put in some work to defend against here if he has this smaller force, although his force still looks honestly quite menacing. This secondary force is going to do a lot of damage to the back of here. JustPlainSavage is not going to be able to defend this with a single ogre, and has not sent any more forces down there to defend against this. And pushing down here, the first Spirit Hodge is going to go down. Managing to get some buildings out. Heavy drones and spectres coming in here, seeing the overwhelming amount of harvesters on this point. They're going to know to just go straight in for the buildings. This army very stationary now from JustPlainSavage. He needs to pull back enough to deal with this, and it doesn't look like he's going to. It looks like he's trying to hold this off entirely with reinforcements. TigerStyle or Midas being a little bit hesitant here, perhaps expecting more of a response, getting a couple of decent splits there off against the dragons, but still quite clumped. And while we're doing this, JustPlainSavage pushing up with his front army. Going to try and get some good hits off here with these catapults, but they're just not really being able to do it. Aiming right at the edge, they're getting pulled apart a bit And he will now manage to just about defend this bottom attack. But now pushing uphill, it's going to start getting really dangerous. He's got some good hits off in the middle, it slows there, but he's hitting a lot at the front, which is not what you want to do with those catapults, because they are artillery and they will miss. And this whole army has now just been absolutely demolished by this huge force of heavy drones that Tiger has. This backup force now coming up will hopefully try and collapse in on this force from TigerStyle, because if not, this force from TigerStyle is going to be, you know, it's looking like enough to win the game. So many siege artillery. These siege artillery are not incredible in the fight, but will just demolish these buildings. And right now, with the small amount of army that TigerStyle, that JustPlainSavage has, especially with his forces being split up, this is not looking too excellent for him. His forces have now arrived here to help defend. TigerStyle's base looking very small now compared to, well, JustPlainSavage is looking very small compared to TigerStyle's. I think I said that the wrong way around at first. And a lot of farming going on here by TigerStyle. Even with a few of these running dry, he's got 2 refineries going. JustPlainSavage, however, looks like he's working from 2 right now. These 2 over here. But they are his only 2. Means TigerStyle is going to have to try and maybe push down this left side of the map with his buildings to start getting some more resources. Capture these in the center, perhaps. He sent another small detachment of his army off around the side to do some flanking. And that is siege artillery. Missing there. He's probably ground firing these a bit out of his maximum range. But a couple of these Spectres getting some good hits off. Making more siege artillery. I honestly think he should probably stop making siege artillery and make more Spectres now. He has enough siege artillery to one-shot buildings, and that's all he really needs his siege artillery for. He's just really taking out these buildings and being able to push the side. He needs to move this army in at the side as well to the back of JustPlainSavage's base. He is focusing down here on the front of his force and on this micro. And there are some big hits from these catapults. You see that these siege artillery, no matter how many they are, they just do not do much damage in the fights. Heavy drones do a lot of damage in the fights, however, and they're going to push him back. You can see the shadows of more heavy drones coming in to reinforce this. A lot of dragons in there. Dragons are doing good AoE damage to the heavy drones, but now these Spectres are pushed in a little bit too far. And the slow from the catapults being as dreadful to play against as ever. Huge amount of these siege artillery, but I think siege artillery is honestly the wrong choice here because they just do not do enough damage in the fights. Now this small army on the side of siege artillery and heavy drones is very nice because the heavy drones will push forward and give vision and will be there to clear out any units that come to defend, while the siege artillery will just absolutely demolish these buildings, making the push dreadfully efficient and very fast if he can keep on top of that with his micro. But he is just poking in here at the front. He's left these a bit too long and is now getting taken out by dragons, unfortunately. But these siege artillery are so fast they can probably get down another building or 2 before they get shocked, and they will do. Army at the fronts here, still pushing in and out. I wonder if he's realised now that JustPlainSavage is pushing out to the side. It doesn't look like he has. It looks like he is just backing off, and he is moving out here. But it seems like he's been a bit slow with this move out and is probably almost out of minerals, and he is. He's just holding on to his economy right now. And there we go. Once again, I think he has slightly too many siege tanks. Slightly too many, but the snipers and heavy drones are decent to take out these dragons. But these catapult numbers are pretty big, and they are not going to be taken out incredibly well by siege tanks. Siege tanks, siege artillery. Oh, moving down here, he could get caught in an awkward flank there. JustPlainSavage moving in. His dragons are going to start hitting the infantry. Oh, he's actually going to be microing them to try and kill the air units, which is also very useful. I believe he should turn around and kill the infantry now, honestly. And he is going to do that now. Moving them a bit too much, honestly. Their dragons take a while to start really dealing their damage. You want to leave your dragons alone most of the time and be moving the rest of your force. He's missing a little bit too much DPS there, and that's why this army of TigerStyles with so little damage is still alive, but took quite a beating. It looks like he's actually going for rocket cars now, because they shoot up and can help in the fight against these dragons, which is a fair tech change. Dragon's gonna try and take out the last of these heavy drones. Looks like Tiger is really down on this money and is just backing off with the siege artillery. Although they do not do a lot of damage, if you can just continuously kite with them, they will eventually win you the fights. Dragon's taking out this refinery now, however. It's going to be getting to the point where TigerStyle is really going to be wanting this refinery. He's down to almost nothing on that one and nothing on that one. He's pushing out inside though with a small force, which is quite nice. Taking out some of the harvesters of JustPlainSavage, but JustPlainSavage has been pretty decent with keeping up his production of fortresses, even making one here. I mean, all of these are very safe and open, but JustPlainSavage just likes to live fast and dangerously, it seems. Perhaps too many dragons sent over to deal with this force, but they are going to deal with that pretty quickly. This force here needs to be careful with most of the dragons over on the right side. Unless he wants to push with these dragons, which he very well may do. Accidental misrally there on that harvester. And TigerStyle now seems to be focusing on protecting this side, which is what he needs to do. And there we go, JustPlainSavage deciding to go on the offensive. I very much like this. TigerStyle is now caught in the decision to defend or attack. If he attacks, he can probably, well, he can definitely win this fight against this army, but if TigerStyle just keeps stuttering the artillery away, this force here can get a lot of damage as long as he keeps it moving. He doesn't want to let that just sit there, and now that he's backed off, TigerStyle is going to move up here. But this force of dragons, I mean, most of them could just leave if TigerStyle gets there. I would very much like to see that play by JustPlainSavage. Just see this army and leave. And he is going to do that. So that was just some free damage from JustPlainSavage. He's going to, now that he's seen the army up there, come into this side, which is also very smart. And this army, ooh, it looks like it might get caught here. This is very bad for these dragons, losing a couple of them for free. These catapults can hit to slow them down, but he's running away with everything right now, and he's trying to pull this army over there. I think he now sees a chance for victory, and he's going to try and collapse on this army from multiple sides. But, oh, this side of dragons is just getting absolutely choked down before the rest of them got here. More of their dragons are here now. But, as I said, these dragons need to be still and keep breathing to do damage against ground. And Midas's army can just keep moving so efficiently all of the time, such high speed, and keep shooting. All of the air is pushed forward and has died while the catapults are all still behind. This army has now suddenly gone back right in favour of TigerStyle. But the economy, much better for JustPlainSavage right now. This is the only harvester right now for TigerStyle. JustPlainSavage having to upgrade a new fortress after losing his first. Getting some more splits in there. Defensive tower, interesting placement. Trying to hit in his catapults, not really getting big hits. He needs to start A-clicking into the middle of it to try and get some big hits, I think. That was a much better one. That was incredible. TigerStyle's army is now putting itself in a position where it cannot retreat. It must push. And it looks like he's realised that and is not a fan of the position that he's put himself into. His army is still just so powerful though, it doesn't look like TigerStyle's going to get a huge advantage off of this. Oh, these siege artillery though, starting to get knocked down. Some cavalry coming out here from JustPlainSavage now. Going to be pushing up onto TigerStyle. These armies now getting very low, much healthier looking from JustPlainSavage style, especially considering most of these are siege artillery, and so going to be very, very unuseful in the fight. And he honestly could probably push up there and keep pulling this, but this is becoming a very incredibly scrappy game. Lots of harvesters sitting here wasting. TigerStyle really needs to put some work into his economy. So you can see by how slowly that is building. Ooh, Nelly's starting to sell off buildings there by the sounds of some of those explosions. In order to get a little bit of money, he needs to get this harvester going, get some more refineries down here. He actually has no refineries by the looks of it. JustPlainSavage now has the map and the money and the army. He's just in such a dominant lead at this point. Even with some of this inefficient mining around here and everything going on, he still has this big, powerful advantage. TigerStyle has actually sold most of his base in order to be able to make a refinery. Interesting that he's making it so far back here. Guess he just wants anything to start long-range mining around. And he didn't really have a good place to put it near another point. His base is down to just such nothing. Clopper of JustPlainSavage's army looking for where TigerStyle is. Seeing all these buildings disappear and not knowing why because he didn't kill them. Very AFK game right now. I think JustPlainSavage, not quite knowing the strength of this army, could easily go up and kill TigerStyle right now. TigerStyle just slowly remaking off of this long distance mining. Oh, here we go. Go look. Here in its natural habitat, just bipping away at our worker. Oh no, and then he's going to just absolutely fuck off. He does not even care. Holy moly. No, this new one, is he going to take up the fight? Is he going to take up the fight? It doesn't look like it. He's going to take up the fight. Let's go. Mortal Kombat. Is this guy going to take up the fight? I think this guy's going to take up the fight, dude. I think he's brave enough. Is he brave enough? Come on, dude. Come on, dude. A click over there. A click over there. There's two of you. Oh, they're going to gang up on him. This is entirely unfair. Never before in the history of Dota. And there's some dragons. Just going to give him a little bit of a on the way through. But it looks like something's going to happen now. Very thankfully. JustPlainSavage going to move up into the high ground. TigerStyle is unfortunately moving out at the same time as JustPlainSavage. So JustPlainSavage is going to start breathing fire. Now, TigerStyle needs to come back and defend because he knows that he's sold most of his base, and so he doesn't have many buildings to be alive, honestly. He's going to need to pull off some incredible micro to be able to win this game. I do not think this is possible. Picking up the dragon is a good start. Throwing some siege artillery down there. JustPlainSavage cannot keep trying to have this range fight because the Guardians will win the range war every time. He needs to just go in, just A-click in there. Come on, boy. Siege artillery do very little damage. Just A-click in there. Go on. Go on. Go on, have him. He's not going to. He's going to back off like a boy. Excellent sound effects here. So his army wanders about, looking for perhaps a place to re-engage. And here he may be given that opportunity. Go on, get in there. His army's so weak. Kill him. You know, I thought coming back to 8-bit would be a nice trip back down memory lane, away from Bike Crush, taking an hour to close out a game, which by all rights he's won. We have Just Plain Bike Crush over here, just building up an army, making sure there's absolutely zero chance he loses, even to Incredible Micro, on the side of TigerStyle, who has nothing to mine from and is probably only staying in because he's like, well, if this guy's not going to fight me, maybe I can sneak something crazy. Like, at this point, you could probably even just ignore the army and just go kill this stuff. There's nothing there. JustPlainSavage does have the right that eventually his army will become large enough that he will just entirely overwhelm. But I mean, even more than he already would entirely overwhelm. He could just get an engagement off. Go on, go on. Go on. Wait, no, just go. Stay click. Stop clicking. Stay click. Stay click. And a very long game, showing off what I think is a very well-made map from TigerStyle, and hopefully that compliment makes up for the fact that we just watched him get burnt alive by a big army of dragons.